I've seen grief scream. I've seen it wail, pound cushions, howl and growl, ask to be held, undulate orgasmic, curl into a ball of shame. Each expression gave permission for my own. Grief has a million faces, voices, and we need them all to heal. When we lose someone we love, we need each other in ways most of us aren't familiar with. I've been to wakes, funerals, commemorations, and I'm not talking about casseroles, cards, or speeches. Flowers are beautiful. These are all beautiful expressions of care and love. But there's a sacred space that's missing. We also need co-grieving that gets us into our primal nature, because grief is a wound of the animal soul. Something deep, not moved by chocolate, touched only on the surface, even by hugs. We need space to be witnessed as the animals we are. 2 years ago, I lost the person I was dating very suddenly. I was in bed for weeks, months, barely showering or eating. The corridors of my mind became my home, and my body quaked to hold it all. I was lucky that his friends understood communal grieving. A couple of months after his death, I was in a circle of his friends, expressing our emotions fully. The vulnerability and rawness and power of grief's many faces, wailing, angry, asking for touch, orgasmic, shameful. I remember thinking, you couldn't script this better. This level of heartbreaking beauty opened me more to myself, had me breathing deeply with others, and feeling more connected to them and to the dynamism of life than I had known was possible. My grief sent me on a grief investigation because, to be honest, it didn't feel like I had a choice. It resulted in my first book, which is in the lobby, a memoir told through poetry and art. And along the way, I learned that there is very little scientific evidence for the 5 stages of grief. As resilience researcher Lucy Hone said, we all grieve differently. Grief is as individual as your fingerprint. Grief is one of the many human processes that we have tried to box into comfortable and capitalistic phases and timelines because it is deeply uncomfortable and inconvenient if it takes its own time and is unpredictable. In ancient traditions like the Dogra people of West Africa, they grieve physically together, dancing a mourning dance, music playing around the clock. No one emotes or purges without physical support or touch from others. We are not meant to grieve alone. We are losing a part of ourselves, our humanity, our ability to contact the beauty and sacred in each other by not grieving physically, primally together. Many of our collective problems are expressions of unresolved trauma and unexpressed grief. With all that we are holding in the world today, collective grieving is more important than ever. We will all experience loss in this life, the recipe for grief, whether or not we allow ourselves to explore and express it. And perhaps time heals all wounds. Time is certainly required. But something more is required too. If I break my arm, the bones will do their best. They will heal whether or not my community helps to set them. But the rest of my life will look very different if they heal crooked on their own or with the help of others. How do we want our broken bones of grief to set? Thank you. Bye.